Hello everyone, welcome to a video on the wrist break. The wrist break is the sixth step in the roll-in phase, and it is actually a misnomer because there's no actual movement at the wrist when you do the wrist break appropriately. It's a supination motion, no movement at the wrist. So let me just show you a couple of things here. We've got supination, which is a movement of the radius moving over the ulna. We've got pronation. We've got flexion, extension of the wrist. Appropriate wrist break is a supination of the forearm and no movement at the wrist. Now the wrist break, when done properly then, because the thumb is behind the radius, when you initiate the wrist break, it drives the piezoform deeper into the snuff box. When done improperly, it will lift the piezoform out, and the most common error you will see is a flexion of the wrist that lifts that piezoform up out of the snuff box. Let me demonstrate for you both properly and improperly on the coordinator. So once you've taken the arch and you start the roll-in phase, you do an internal rotation of the humerus of the roll-in arm, you wrap the thumb behind the radius, and then you do an external rotation of the humerus, and then you initiate the wrist break, which is a supination, like so. You wrap the fingers, and then you relax the humerus of the roll-in arm because it's in that external rotation like that. So that's the proper way to do the wrist break. The improper way is once you've got the thumb behind the radius here, you do your external rotation, and then as I flex the wrist, you can see how the piezoform lifts up out of that snuff box. Another common error is that once you've done the wrist break appropriately, is to lose what you've gained with the wrist break by pronating the forearm. So I've done the wrist break, I need to relax the humerus up here, and instead of just relaxing the humerus, you'll see my right forearm, the roll-in forearm, pronate, and you'll see my roll-in elbow move, like that. That completely changes the direction of the wrist lever here, and it throws the forces of the adjustment off, and it will scatter. So let me show it to you the proper way. Get my thumb behind the radius, externally rotate the humerus, supinate the arm, forearm, wrap the fingers, and then this time you will see no movement of my roll-in forearm or the roll-in elbow, and I just relax my humerus of the roll-in arm. Again, the common error is to see this. If you see any movement of your elbow, you know you've done it wrong. So to recap, the two common errors with the wrist break are to do a pronation of the humerus. You'll see that elbow move as you are finishing the roll-in phase, or it's to flex the wrist and lift the piezoform out of the snuff box. Thank you for watching this video on the wrist break.